Hey guys, Raven here. Today's video is quite controversial. It's about Saints Row Reboot and whether or not it was a commercial failure. So I'm going to split this topic into two sections, the commercial aspect and the public reception. I'll explain why people have an issue with it and what I do and don't like about the game. So let's start this with the public reception of Saints Row Reboot. Critics liked it for the most part, but players, man, I've never seen such vitriol in the gaming landscape before. Death threats, doxing, and harassment all aimed at developers. Editor Crank here. I don't care what side you're on, whether you like this game or hate it. I don't care if you're for the game, don't dox someone. That goes for the Bad Saints Row Takes account. What the fuck is wrong with you? Anyway, back to the video. Players didn't like the game because of a few common reasons. It's a new cast that appears quote-unquote woke, but that point makes no sense to me. Since Saints Row 2, the boss could be any gender the player desires at any point in time. You could also romance anyone in Saints Row 4, and the boss also had a very progressive view, especially for 2009.
A woman getting ahead in the medical field is an uphill battle. I don't care what anyone says.
I may be a badass, but I don't think I can change the way an entire profession thinks about gender.
If I get in the brilliant book of world records for most patients served, I think that would send a message that women are just as proficient, if not more so, than their male counterparts.
Censorship. They removed dildos, changed to freckle bitches to FBs, and she shows no more cleavage. They changed rim jobs to gym robs, and apparently removed a tattoo that had a dildo on it and a lack of blood splatter. Well, they did remove the dildos, which could have been censorship from Deep Silver due to past issues with Saints Row the 3rd and Saints Row 4. Or it's just the devs didn't want it in the game anymore. Freckle bitches is still freckle bitches, just abbreviated to FB. Making her more clothed isn't censorship, since in-game, you can be completely topless with your bare breasts being shown uncensored. Rim jobs to gym robs is a null and void point. I'll let a developer answer this question. Why is rim jobs called gym robs? Alternate universe storyline confirmed? Answer. One of the devs years ago combined the photos of two team members, a gym and a rob. We laughed our asses off and it just took off from there. We also loved the wordplay from the original rim jobs. That was from an Ask Me Anything in the official Saints Row Discord. Lack of blood splatter. Yeah, that just sucks ass. We have tons of brutal executions, but they lack proper weight due to the blood not sticking around. It reminds me of Saints Row 1, but not in a good way. Bugs and glitches. Yeah, nothing to say here. It's awful. In that regard. It's just annoying having my customization removed, gun customization removed, game crashes, falling through the map, etc. To this day, we still have broken achievements, broken co-op, and other such things. Gameplay, you either love it or hate it. A lot of the critiques I've seen for the game involve it feeling like an Xbox 360 game. So instead of taking everyone's comments, I'll give you my issues and what I like. The critique that it plays like a 360 game is accurate, but I love the game for that. It feels nostalgic, but needs a lot of work. Better hit registration, better enemy reactions, and a tighter bloom for your weapons reticle and recoil. Melee combat frankly sucks. It needs work, it's clunky and unfun. It needs a better pull, better weight, and better momentum. Driving is so good in my opinion, probably the best in the franchise. Drifting though takes time to get used to. Executions are all creative and fun. It's a nice twist off the running wrestling moves from Saints Row 3 and 4. I love the fact they give you health back and they have practical uses besides just being cool. The new addition of flow abilities are fun, when they work. It's a nice addition, but currently, bugged to all hell and fucking back. It is ridiculous how bugged they are. Now, the story. Man, the story. It could have been good if they gave it more time to build. For example, Nina's car, that mission has really good writing, but it feels so sudden it doesn't work, which is how I feel about the entire story. It isn't the worst story mission to mission, but the flow of the story doesn't work quite well. I like the overall writing. Some of the jokes land, some are cringy, but overall I think the cast itself is decent. They just needed more time to grow. Now let's get into the final topic. Was Saints Row a commercial failure? No. Not in the slightest. Let's take a look at the official stats. Saints Row Reboot has sold over 1 million units within a month or two. Embracer expects to make its budget back and then a little more, which isn't the best, but it proves it isn't a failure. Embracer earnings calls have shown that due to Saints Row Reboot, they grew as a company by 38%. Saints Row is at a 0.9 ROI. ROI means return on investment, which means it's pretty damn close to making its budget back, and it hasn't even been a year yet. Something else I want to address. No, a game on sale for the holidays does not mean it's a failure. For example, Dying Light 2 sold over 5 million units in a month, then went on sale. It more than sold its budget, but is that considered a failure commercially? No. It's a weird stigma surrounding Saints Row exclusively. It's unfair to the game and the developers. Let's also use older Saints Row titles like Saints Row 3 and 4. They sold similarly to Saints Row Reboot and went on sale around the same time. They aren't commercial failures either, and no one says they are. To me, it's such a seriously weird argument. It shipped over 1 million pre-discounted sales. I don't understand how anyone considered that a huge flop sales-wise. Now, the final point. Despite its poor player reception, it sold fairly well. I expect there to be a sequel under the Gearbox branch. All in all, I think Saints Row Reboot is a mixed bag. It has very good aspects and bad aspects that need to be ironed out through updates. And Volition, please fix these things. And don't give up on the project. I hope I did this topic justice. It's my first time talking about something like this. Leave a like, comment, subscribe, and don't attack developers no matter how much you don't like a game. They're human beings and they're crunched and worked to death. Raven out. Peace.